Hello, guys, and welcome to our special F1 podcast edition of 2021. So, I'm Himant, and joining with me is Srikanth. Hi, Srikanth. How are you?
Hi Hemant, I'm good. Hope you're also doing well.
Yeah, we are good, and we request everybody to stay safe, stay at home. And if it is evident that you have to go out, please wear your mask and get vaccinated as soon as it is possible for you guys. Um,
Certainly.
so Yeah, so we'll jog into this session now. So we'll be talking. I mean, there are still only five races that have been happened in this F1 season till now, but we've got a plenty of drama, plenty of action that has gone through. Personally, it is not a good season for Srikanth. He's a Mercedes
Yeah.
fan, but they're trialing in the championships. So what do you want to talk about your rivals, Srikanth, the Red Bulls?
Yeah. Honestly, telling Hemant, I personally expected this gap to be much more than just a single point in the Constructors' Championship. Seeing Red Bull's pace and consistency after the preseason testing, everybody thought that Red Bull will be the team to beat and would run away at least in the first half of the season until Mercedes got back their supposed loss in because of the rake philosophies, because of removal of downforce in the rear end, which certainly affected Mercedes and Aston Martin and the low rake cars more than the higher rake cars of a Red Bull or a McLaren. But yeah, having said that, Mercedes have played it smart. In most of the cases, they weren't the quickest car, say in Bahrain or even in Imola or Portimao, but their strategy has helped them certainly, even in Spain, though it was evident. But the only time that they have messed up, which is in Monaco, Red Bull has been very good and has been able to capitalize on this. So that is why I think is the reason where we see Red Bull on top as well as Max leading the World Championship Drivers World Championship for the first time.
No, it's a very
And I'm pretty
happy.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you continue. I'll ask that.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this neck and neck tussle will go all the way to the wire till Abu Dhabi. Hopefully, we'll see the World Drivers' Championship as well as the Teams' Championship getting decided on the last race. So that is where I think it is headed.
Hope so. Fingers crossed. Everybody would want to see. We got bored of seeing Mercedes dominating for the past 7 years. So it's a breather when some team other than a Ferrari, obviously,
Yeah.
they're giving a run for the money for the Mercedes. And Red Bull have been bang on with their strategy. I mean, I think signing Checo was also a great move. Still, I mean, did not still land a podium yet, but I don't think it's just a matter of one or two races, I believe. It's just that he's having some pretty bad qualifying things, which is definitely hampering his race positions and all. Once both the Red Bulls, are on top three, top four, it will definitely get messier for Mercedes. But
Right.
and what do you think? I mean, there's a news that is revolving around George Russell signing for Mercedes. Do you think this will, create some raft between? I mean, already Bottas is having up and down relation with the Mercedes team.
Yeah.
Do you think this will affect their morale somehow?
Yeah, I certainly think that will be the case, Hemant. It is natural, just a human instinct when somebody is not felt needed in a team for them to feel down or think that a team strategy is not working. We saw a similar case, that example with Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari the previous year. I don't think this will be to that an extent, but you can already see the signs of it when Bottas ignored the call for Hamilton to be let past in Spanish Grand Prix when they were on different strategies. And Lewis had to fight his way past Bottas. So you can see that there are telltale signs, and obviously the DNF, which was caused in Monaco because of a faulty nut or a bad error by the mechanic, that wouldn't have helped Bottas improve his morale or wouldn't have done any good to the already strained relationship between Mercedes and Bottas. Yeah.
It will be interesting to see. I mean, you were talking about Ferrari. They've been a surprise to me. They've had a pretty damaged 2020 season. Both Sebastian's departure didn't help the team and didn't help Sebastian as well. And everybody thought that Carlos signing for Ferrari was a big mistake seeing the 2020 car, but everybody is proven wrong right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like Ferrari had hit rock bottom like by mid of last season. So the only way up was, I mean, the only way forward was moving up. Obviously, we saw some signs of improvement last year itself. Maybe the last 5, 6 Grand Prix last year, even Vettel did improve, but there were signs. But obviously, as you told, this is a big jump, both on their engine area as well as on their aero side, which was evident in Monaco, as well as their consistency over the high speed circuits as well. So there has been definite improvement, and the team is also buoyed by the arrival of Carlos Sainz, which has been a positive effect, and the same has been echoed by multiple members, even Binotto and even Leclerc coming out and praising Sainz and his approach and methodology towards joining this new team and bringing up the team with him. So there has been definitely a positive vibe and air among all the people working at Ferrari, and we can definitely see a very close fight between Ferrari and McLaren. Hopefully, once Danny Rick also gets on to speed along with Norris for that third place. Already telling that there is only again a point or 2 points of gap between third and fourth, same as 1 pointer gap between 1 and 2. So this is going to be, as far as I see, a battle for a single position between 2 or 3 teams. Like the top 2 obviously are already well ahead, Mercedes and Red Bull, or Red Bull and Mercedes, I should say. Sorry. Whenever I say Mercedes would come out on first, my bad.
We'll have his
and then McLaren, yeah. McLaren and Ferrari for the third spot, and obviously now with one of the best results of the season for Aston Martin, they have jumped to 5th place again. There is just a 1 point of gap between 5, 6, and 7. So that tussle also should go down to the wire, like last year, where Racing Point, which it was called back then, just finished a point behind McLaren and had to settle for 4th. So once again, we'll definitely see a great tussle for all the positions, and by far this will be the best season, both in terms of Drivers' Championship as well as the Constructors.
Yeah, I hope so. We really got bored of seeing Mercedes. But anyways, I mean, talking about McLaren, they've been having pretty interesting season where one car is outperforming everybody's expectations, and Lando Norris getting a long-term deal with McLaren. Hopefully, I think it really states everybody that he's the number one driver and for the team, and the car will be definitely built for the next coming seasons around Lando. So it's not something to ignore. But Danny Rick, who has signed with huge expectations, coming out of Renault, but getting lapped by your own teammate when he gets a podium, I don't think that's an easy pill to swallow for Danny.
Yeah, that definitely stings. But having said that, it's not. I mean, we have seen 4 drivers who have moved into new teams. Considering Alonso as also a driver who has come into a different team before when he left. So yeah, none of them, barring the Sainz, be it Perez, Ricciardo, or Alonso or Vettel, have had done extremely well, except for Vettel's latest 5th place finish at Monaco, which is definitely above what that Aston Martin can achieve. I don't think it is a 5th place car at the moment, given their pace. But yeah, Ricciardo has been struggling. But interestingly, if you see him on his qualifying pace has been very good, except in Monaco. He has outqualified Norris 3-1. But obviously, Monaco is the highest dependent circuit on qualifying. So once he messed up there wasn't much of a chance. But I thought he would end up in at least the top 10. But staying outside the top 10 and getting lapped by your own teammate who is like 8-9 years younger than you is, as you told, a very difficult and hard pill to swallow. But knowing Ricciardo, I think he will bounce back strong. Maybe I'm thinking the first half of the season will be something similar to this. That was what was there with Renault also when he joined. He was again behind Hülkenberg in the first half of the season. But come the end of the season, he was already showing his class and was above Hülkenberg in terms of points tally and overall race finishes. It's just his racecraft that he needs to work on. That is what he also mentioned, because his qualifying pace is there and thereabouts. So in most of the cases, he is above Norris. So as we spoke, once he gets on top of his game, there'll definitely be a great battle between Ferrari and McLaren for that third spot on the drivers and constructors championship.
Yeah, I mean, Danerik is not somebody who shies away from a fight. If you can see his podium wins, wins. He has won from 6th, 7th, even 10th. Sometimes he managed to squeeze in a win. So Danerik is one tough Australian to face. So don't let his smile fool you.
Certainly.
And there are some rumors also that there is some chassis change for his McLaren, maybe suiting his driving style. But we are not sure how much is true behind these facts, this news. But we hope so. Danny shows a solid performance in Baku. Talking about
that is one of his favorite circuits. He has already won a race there, so expecting good things from him.
He had an horrible race as well.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't go into the back of his teammate again.
Yeah, we hope so. I think Danny is past that. We hope he's got matured now to make such kind of decisions. Anyways, now talking about the most hyped team in this F1 2021, everybody was going gaga about this team. The first 4 races were just flat on disasters, I would say. Me personally supporting them was a huge bummer to me. It was really sad. So in case if you still not figured out, we are talking about Aston Martin. They've come up with hump and dump into this season. They've really performed well last time when they were Racing Point, but this aero rake philosophy is the low rake cars. The high rake philosophy definitely is not helping Aston. And the first 4 races, though Lance got into decent points. I mean, decent in the sense 9th, 10th, 7th or something. Sebastian was struggling. He was not getting points. He was outside. He did not finish in one race. He was outside top 10 in the remaining 3 races. And everybody was questioning his commitment to the game. But Monaco has been I would say that I feel that movement with Gasly, that wheel-on-wheel movement with Gasly, I felt that it was a break or make moment for Sebastian. I feel that if he hadn't gone before Gasly there, I think it would have been doomed for Aston. But I really think that now with that, both Aston and Sebastian would have got that needed, push in the confidence.
Yeah, exactly, Hemant. That is true. And also, I feel one of the other reasons, obviously the rake philosophy and the loss in downforce was one of the major reasons. But the other factor was the pressure that was put on from the top, especially Stroll. I'm not talking about Lance. I'm talking about his father. The pressure, the kind of pressure. He is a businessman and he always sets out to win. He and his Aston Martin team. So, and also the philosophy of this team, whether being it Force India or Racing Point, was like they were punching above their weights every time. They had a very low budget and they were punching above their weights. But this is the first time where they had a lot of budget to work on, at least considerable amount of budget. And the philosophy was also a little different, where the pressure from the top was there to deliver the results. And that is why you can even see when they lost so much downforce and pace, they even went to the point of taking legal action against the FIA. They requested FIA to help them mitigate the losses that they have incurred because of the floor changes. They even threatened them to go to court if that wasn't done. But thankfully, finally, it is dropped now, just after Monaco is over. So I hope they can concentrate back on the actual racing and getting back to maybe a 4th or 5th position where I think they belong. So that is one good thing. And Otmar Safnauer has also told that from now on, we'll be only focusing on the car and how we can develop it and not on any unwanted politics as such. So I think hopefully Stroll and the consortium, Aston Martin consortium, also lets them to concentrate on developing the car rather than just trying to see what all loopholes or what all chances there is to get back at the FIA or the other teams. So with that, and also seeing Vettel performing the way he has performed in Monaco, if he can continue that form, definitely signing Vettel would be a great deal.
What lagged with Aston was strategy on the race day. except Monaco. If you see, they were pretty questionable strategies that they were deploying. Nobody understood why were any pit stops being made, or what kind of tires they were being chosen. But obviously, it's about the driver feeling confident about the car. It's not any machine to just drive around. You need to have complete harmony with that machine, to push it to the limits. And I feel that Sebastian has found it in Monaco. Hopefully, we can see a competitive Aston from Baku.
Yes,
Now,
certainly.
now, moving on to the other bottom five of the teams, Alpines, your Alpha Tauris, Alfa Romeos, Williams, and Haas. Which team has, impressed or may left a shocking impression to you?
Honestly telling, all of them have been there and thereabouts. I think Alpha Tauri, especially Pierre Gasly's performance, has been good, not exceptional as last year, maybe. Or maybe we will see another win or a podium for him in Monza or some of the high-speed circuits, which will suit more towards Alpha Tauri's philosophy. But having said that, Yuki Tsunoda, who was supposed to be the next Japanese sensation and up-and-coming driver, hasn't impressed a lot. There has been more hype than what has been actually delivered. I think the same sentiments were echoed by Helmut Marko as well in one of his podcasts. So that is one area where Red Bull and AlphaTauri will be keeping an eye on him. Fingers crossed. I'm not cursing, but hopefully this will help Jehan Deruhla get a seat in AlphaTauri next year. We'll cross our fingers and hope that would happen. But yeah, Alpine also is one of the teams that has struggled to match last year's performance. Ocon has been decent, not great what was expected from him, and definitely Alonso's age and 2 years away from the sport is showing, but he has been able to drag the car and drag some results out of it. But definitely I feel like after another 4 or 5 races we will see much better performances, and for certain we haven't seen the best of Alonso yet. And Alfa Romeo, I don't know, it's like a driver who is just driving in Formula One as a hobby. And I love Kimi Raikkonen, by the way, still. But yeah, and another guy who even Alfa Romeo is not sure how his future will be, Antonio Giovinazzi. So I felt it would have been better if Alfa would have given one of their young drivers or Ferrari youngsters a chance this season. But yeah, this is what we have. Alfa Romeo, I think, will eventually end up in 8th. And Williams have definitely improved. But unfortunately, they have finished 11th or 12th in one of the races where they could have just scored a point. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they will score a point or two in maybe a rain-affected or a high crash circuit. A race where there are a number of crashes. And yeah, you know it. So there was a joke going around one top 1 to 20 positions where they'll guess the position, and it was written nobody can guess every session where it will end for first 19 things, and the last word was Mazepin. So that is how it was, how it is. But surprised that Mazepin finished ahead of Mick in Monaco.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they will get good driving experience for the coming season, and hopefully they'll be better at that.
Yeah, I think, Haas has been, pretty vocal about not developing anything for this year's car. So it was evident that they would be last this season, however bad Williams may be. Yeah. But still, they're both having rookies in the team and still causing some troubles, for the team management when they're not moving when the black flags are getting shown. So it's really many of the drivers are getting pissed by this. So, and yeah, I think rightly said Alpine. Fernando was saying in one of his interviews, I think, where he said that I cannot expect anything till the French GP. So he's waiting for the car because he said that these are the tracks. First of all, he's away from the sport for 2 years, and there were tracks that he has not, driven before. Even Imola was not something he has driven before. He might have driven some 10 years back or something. Or 15 years back and something. So he was not accustomed. First of all, he's not accustomed to the car. He was not accustomed to the tracks, and it's a really hard pill to swallow for a world champion and a person of caliber of Alonso. And
Exactly.
yeah, nothing much about Alphas, both the Alphas, Alpha Tauris and Alfa Romeos. I expect, I mean, I think it might be the last season for TR with Alpha, because I think it's high time if we look outside the Red Bull racing environment. Certainly, there are some links with Alpine, but we are not sure how much is that of the fact is true. So
Yeah.
I think top five is not made that interesting, but sorry, the bottom five is not that interesting, but top
That
five is
interesting.
pretty is interesting
Yeah.
as the season
Certainly.
forward goes
Certainly.
forward. And
Hemant, there is also a rumor that I just heard that in case, I mean, obviously, this is almost certain that Russell will be driving for Mercedes, and in case Bottas doesn't want to move back to Williams and Aston Martin doesn't perform well in coming races, there is an exit clause in Vettel's contract that if he wants, he can retire at the end of this season. So there is talk that if that happens, Bottas might be moving to Aston Martin.
yeah, but I don't
So
think. I mean, maybe he can take a decision, next year. I would
yeah,
say, I hope so, because it's a different philosophy. Yeah, then
yeah,
2022 cars will come up with a different
yeah,
philosophies, a different design altogether, which is not something relevant to this year's cars. And obviously, um, it's a no-brainer that Vettel expected this car to be competitive. But nobody can say that the aero rules, the high rake, the low rake philosophy cars have badly hit. They're not having enough downforce to have that grip around the circuits and all. But yeah, we're not sure what the man is thinking, anyways. So, but whom do you think has impressed between all these driver switches?
definitely Carlos Sainz. The way he has adjusted to the new team, new environment, and obviously being a Ferrari driver is never easy. It is like having the weight of the world on your shoulders. And obviously, relatively, he's young. He's younger than both of us, obviously. So, yeah, I was just doing that math that day, and none of these guys were elder than me. Even Carlos Sainz was a couple of months younger than me. So that felt a little bad. But yeah, so at that young age, he is handling. I mean, not just him, even Leclerc, who is now obviously the senior in the team. They are both handling the situation and the media pretty well. So Science is the one that has impressed me the most. And after that, I have to go with Checo itself. I know he hasn't been great, and I know seeing him for such a long time, he has much more potential in him. So I feel Checo will be second on my list, and then maybe followed by a Vettel, Alonso, and then definitely Ricciardo is last. This is not the Ricciardo we know of, so there
Yeah.
is a lot more to that end.
Okay, talking about the pressure, Carlos, yeah, I mean, Ferrari is definitely a high pressure team, but I don't think he has the pressure of when Alonso came to Ferrari or when Vettel came to Ferrari, because both were proven world champs by then. Alonso had
Right.
two titles, Vettel
Yeah.
had four titles, and, they thought that these will be the guys like Schumacher, who after winning two titles came to Ferrari and made them a huge winning factory. And both of them carried the same pressure, but
Yeah.
both of them were not able to deliver. But
Exactly.
nobody is expecting Carlos to become a world champion in Ferrari, at least in this car. The car is pretty
Yeah.
well. Everybody
Yeah.
will downplay the car. I think that is helping Carlos to get adjusted to the team. Once he
Correct.
at least for this season. And I think that
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
doing wonders for him, like his mentor or like his idol, Alonso, who
Yeah.
made that move from McLaren to Ferrari. He's following the same footsteps as Alonso, Renault to McLaren, McLaren to Ferrari, and he hopes
Yeah.
he can do what his mentor or idol was not able to replicate at
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah, the one basic change or difference that I see is maybe Carlos is not as instinctive in his mouth or words as Fernando is or Fernando was. So that is the only change. And once he gets in more experience, and obviously once the car becomes much better, so I definitely can see him challenging Charles and beat Max or Lewis for maybe, the title maybe a year or two down. And rightly, as you told, there was no expectation from Ferrari itself as such for this year.
Mhm.
So that is one more thing that given how bad their car was last season. So and except Mercedes and Red Bull, all other teams were like, we are looking at 2022, the changes. we are working for that. So none of them actually like concentrated for a world championship except the top two for this season. So that could be one more reason that has helped Sainz adjust better to Ferrari and the
Yeah.
situation.
So who do you think will win this week in Baku?
I don't know. I have a gut feeling I'm gonna put my money on Bottas for some reason.
Yeah, I was also thinking. I was thinking
Yeah,
Bottas will win this. I don't know why,
yeah,
but maybe
yeah.
something
That
in
is
him.
what.
You know how Bottas is generally. He's not somebody who just shies
Yeah,
away from whatever is
yeah.
going on. I mean,
Exactly, exactly.
he's not a some. He's not a. If he was a nobody, he wouldn't have kept his seat at Mercedes for this many years.
Right.
So I don't. I also have this weird feeling that Valtteri might do this weekend to really make a
Yeah,
strong point.
exactly. Right. And at least I feel that it will be a Merc that will be winning and not a Red Bull. And I feel Mercedes will be taking back the championship lead. I'm not particularly sure if Lewis will be taking back the world championship, drivers world championship lead. But yeah, but one thing is for certain: if we can continue at this rate and this level of intensity, we are gonna have a one hell of a season that wasn't there for a long time, especially between two teams battling it out of at the front.
And there were some really great strategies,
Yeah,
that we were able to see. I liked actually two strategies. One which Mercedes followed in the previous race of Monaco, where they pulled out a brilliant two-stop for Lewis, leaving everybody in that Red Bull pit wall just to
yeah,
wonder what was happening. And the other one I liked was of Aston in Monaco, and even not. I mean, Sebastian Vettel's was great, but Lance was going long with that hard tires for almost
yeah,
58 laps and making him pit for a soft one and getting into the points. I feel that it's a really brilliant move for both the teams. I really like
yeah,
those strategies, and
yeah,
for somebody for an outsider who believes that racing is just driving around car in the circles,
yeah.
uh,
Circles.
these
Yeah,
these
that
really
was yeah,
prove
uh,
that it's
yeah,
more
exactly.
than that.
And I wanted to quote one more, Hemant. The first race itself in Bahrain, Mercedes' strategy was very aggressive there, which was supposedly shouldn't have worked, but they pitted like tried to undercut on both the pit stops, and it worked. Somehow Lewis made it work. So that was also an inspired call. I don't think if they hadn't undercut or tried to undercut, I don't think they could have won that race. On raw pace, they were like at
Mm.
least 2 to 3 tenths per lap slower than
Yeah.
Red Bull. So that was also one of the great things. That is what the season has not only been a battle on track with between the drivers, it has also been a battle between the strategists and the team dynamics of how they are calling the shots to make the races pan out as they have panned out. So I'm looking for again a wheel to wheel battle between the Mercs and the Red Bulls, and maybe a Lando or a Danny Rick in the mix as well in Baku and going ahead. And certainly I hope Monaco was a one-off and that wouldn't be repeated again. Maybe one again in Singapore, which is again Achilles heel for Mercedes. So we will see how the season goes.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, Lewis was downplaying Baku actually. He was saying that it's a street circuit that is suited more for Red Bull's thing, but the previous last 2 years winners were the Mercs were winning there. So I don't think you can write off Merc in Baku. At least you can't say anything till
Certainly.
the qualifying is done.
Right.
So yeah, we hope to see a very tight season this season. So yeah, so that's it from us, guys. So these are our views on the season till now. So if you think this vary, please mention in the comment section, and please do share and like to Sportzian.